That's good. That's good. Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Cosmic Alliance of the Fist, the YouTube show where we talk about archival science, or my version of archival science, and physical media. So, welcome back again. If you watched the show before, you know what it's all about. Might be a quick one today. It's been a long day. Good day at work until the very end. It never fails. Somebody annoys the hell out of me at the very end of work, and there's nothing you can do about it. A job's a job. Lucky to have one. Lucky to be making money. So, sometimes you got to regroup in your own head and say, well, what's going to make me feel better? And for me, I sort of had this creative outlet called the Cosmic Alliance of the Fist. So I said, okay, well, before we get more PO'd and more annoyed with life, let's find a way to make things better and come home and do the YouTube show. So here we are, and that's what we're going to do. And today's episode is going to be about some stuff I found at Goodwill this afternoon, because I figured going to Goodwill for a DVD Blu-ray collector is a good time. So that instantly, brought my spirits up a little bit. And I was able to browse for a good hour. Man, I looked through everything, and I found a ton of good stuff at awesome prices too. So I'm excited that I found some good stuff, and I'm able to talk about it on the YouTube show tonight, and hopefully brighten my own day as well as yours. So if you're tuning in, I really appreciate it. It's some days you just aren't vibing with, or you are vibing with it, and then it just takes a 180 and you feel like crap all of a sudden. And part of growing as a person is finding healthy ways to deal with that. And that's what I'm doing tonight. So we'll get started. It might be a quick one tonight. I've got some coffee here because I am really tired. And I've only got about an hour to film this and get it uploaded before I got to start dinner. So we'll get started. Oh, that's good. Dunkin' Midnight. I recommend it. I'm going to be up till 4 in the morning. Okay, so first off, we always do the toy. So today's toy, and my brother John and his girlfriend got me this. They got me a Christmas gift, but then sort of as like a little stocking stuffer. I don't know where they found it, but this is sorry about the glare. This is a duck version of Michael Myers, and I've never seen anything like this before. It's very strange, and I don't know why they wanted to get me this, because I'm not a Michael Myers fan at all. But no, it's really cool. It's a duck with the Michael Myers face on it. I don't know if this is a line of iconic characters that look like ducks, but there you have it. And I can't think of a better knick-knack to talk about tonight than this little duck quack quack or stab stab. I don't know what kind of noise a Michael Myers duck would make, but I'm not gonna open it because it is so cool and I'd like to preserve it. Maybe someday I'll open it. I don't know. But there you have it. From Tubbs Mini. I've never heard of those. I'm not a super big toy guy, because a lot of people watching this and they see me talking about all my little gadgets and toys I find at the beginning. I'm not a huge toy collector. My thing is I love finding broken toys or toys that look like have been sitting in the sandbox in the rain for the past 5 years. And I'm kind of like an animal rehab center. I take the broken stuff and give it a nice home. But John and Brooke, thank you guys again. That's awesome. And I'll hang on to it. It was just a little addition to the Christmas gift they got me. So appreciate it, guys. So we'll get started tonight. Like I said, I went to Goodwill, and if you're a physical media collector and you don't mind finding some stuff that could possibly be in some rough shape, Goodwill is the place to go. There was some CDs there too. I didn't have time to look through the CDs. I took about a half hour and went through the DVDs and Blu-rays. Only bought one Blu-ray tonight just to save some money, because the DVDs are significantly cheaper than the Blu-rays, obviously, but I found an awesome Blu-ray set that I will talk about at the end. That will be the main event, so make sure you watch through the whole thing or skip to the very end. I don't care. YouTube, do what you want. But I'm going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff that I found at Goodwill today. So if you are a physical media collector, go to Goodwill. And like I said, sometimes they even have a little color code system. On certain days, you can get certain DVDs or Blu-rays like half off or 30% off. And they're already dirt cheap as it is, so you're saving a ton of money. But let's get started. So the first thing I found this morning, and it makes me laugh looking at it, is Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls with Mr. Jim Carrey. Love Jim Carrey, huge fan. Even the Sonic the Hedgehog movies that come out, everything he has is, in my opinion, great. Bruce Almighty, The Mask, Pet Detective. I like When Nature Calls better than Pet Detective. Oh God, what else? He was the Riddler. Just a super talented guy. If you don't know who Jim Carrey is, well, I don't know what to tell you, but a comedic genius. And I appreciate everything he does and still tries to do. You know what? He plays Dr. Robotnik. And at this, or Eggman, whatever you want to call him, in the Sonic movies, but at this stage in his career, he doesn't need to do that. But it looks like he's having the time of his life, so good for him. And I think he lives up in Canada, or he is Canadian. Not really sure. Overall, funny guy, and I love his movies, and I wish he'd have some more comedies come out. Like, I think they were talking about a sequel to Bruce Almighty at some point. Give us Ace Ventura 3. You know you could still do it. You've watched the Sonic movie. See, he's Ace Ventura in an Eggman costume. So he might just have enough money that he doesn't want to do too much. I'm not sure why he did the Sonic movies. But I love the Sonic movies. I've seen them with my brothers and my wife. Those are fun. Even though they're for little kids. Don't remember. A lot of people don't remember that they're still kids at heart. So sometimes just go see a kid's movie. You know, chill out. And don't be too mature all the time. Go see Sonic the Hedgehog, for crying out loud. It's hilarious. All right, so enough about Jim Carrey. So I found this, and this is interesting because it looks like it could have been possibly part of a combo pack with Pet Detective. But Pet Detective wasn't there. All they had was When Nature Calls, priced for $3.15. And shit, I love When Nature Calls. It's hilarious. I love that it was filmed in Africa. I don't know if it was actually filmed in Africa. I'd have to watch a documentary, for crying out loud. And who knows if there's a documentary for Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Is there an audio commentary? No audio commentary for this. Like I said, there's not too many special features with this one because I believe it was part of a combo pack, and somebody obviously either lost or didn't want to give up their copy of Pet Detective, so they just traded in When Nature Calls. But I've always been a big fan of When Nature Calls. My friends and I would watch it over and over again when we were young. We'd have sleepovers, and we'd watch Jim Carrey movies all night. And even my friends agreed that we loved When Nature Calls more than Pet Detective. All my parents loved Pet Detective a lot more. They said, oh, Pet Detective's better. I always loved When Nature Calls just because I thought there was a lot more exotic animals in it, like because it was in Africa and such, and the spitting scenes and everything like that. Check it out. It's an awesome movie. If you've never seen it, Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. But in here, so we'll hold it up, and we're just looking at a disc. That's all it is. Because, like I said, when you get these movies in the combo packs, it tends to just be a disc, and it's not an anniversary edition or anything. So it's still cool for what it is. And like I said, I try to find, and you'll see that going forward with this episode too, unique finds. And this might sit on a shelf in Goodwill for a long time because a lot of people might understand that was part of a combo pack, but I'm glad I found it and I brought it home. Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Up next, we have, and these DVDs, by the way, I didn't pay more than $5 for any of them. Alien, the original OG Alien from 79. I could probably look at the back. It's probably got a date on it. Pardon me, just burped up some coffee. I'm going to say 78 or 79. I'm not for certain. A classic, nonetheless. A horror classic. A staple in the horror genre. The horror sci-fi genre. The plot, if you're watching my show, you know what the plot of Alien is. Just from the title alone, you could probably take a guess what it's about. Gory, absolutely, especially for the 70s. They had some good effects in this. And this, what I liked about this original Alien is watching it recently, is you can really, and I wasn't around in the 70s, I don't know, but you can really compare it to other movies in the 70s, and it has that same sort of 70s atmosphere, and sort of with the setting too. It just looks very 70s. If you've watched sort of any abstract movies from the 70s, you kind of get where I'm going. The sound was awesome in this too. The scene where the man's looking for the cat, and you can hear the chains clanging and the gooey noises, the practical effects. It still holds up to this day. And I remember watching this with my brother Alex. This is one of his favorite movie franchises of all time. And I think when we first got into the series, we were too young. Thanks, Mom, for letting us watch this stuff at such a young age. But we saw Aliens first. And I think one of my uncles said, "Oh, you need to let them watch the original Alien and all this stuff." So I believe my brother and I watched Aliens first. And then we came back and watched the original, and from the rest is history. My brother, for Christmas one year, got the Alien Quadrilogy, which was a giant set of DVDs and had every Alien film up to that point, which I think there was only 4 up to that point, but now there's maybe 7 or 8 of them, if you're counting the AVP movies, the Alien vs. Predator movies too. Still an awesome movie. Not my favorite. It's awesome, but I'm a Predator guy at heart. I love Predator. So when Alien vs. Predator come out, I was Team Predator. But it's still a cool movie and probably one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time. And it holds up. And great actors. A lot of them have passed on. The acting holds up too. I got to get my brother to come do this show with me one time because he could talk a lot more. He probably knows so much backstory for this movie and how it was filmed, and some trivia and some fun facts about it. So we're going to get him on here one of these days, and we'll re-talk about all these. But for now, we'll just take a look at the DVD, because I don't want to ramble on about things I don't know. And we'll look at the special features first. Deleted scenes. There is a director's cut of this with a lot of deleted extras and additional scenes, which I think didn't come out till the early 2000s when the director's cut finally come out. Artwork and photo galleries, original storyboards, isolated original score. That's cool. Good music, and an alternate music track too. That's even better, so you could listen to a whole different score to the film. Okay, decent amount of features, and it's probably hard to see some of these stickers. This was $3.15, so what a steal. I have this movie, like I said, I have a child coming. If it happens to be a boy, and he happens to be into alien, sci-fi, horror, gory movies, it's right here. He can watch it anytime he wants, because his daddy has it, or her daddy. We'll take a peek inside. Okay. And I'm laying eyes on the inside of these cases for the first time today. I don't know what's in them, because I didn't look through them. The cashier at Goodwill said, "Did you check for all the discs?" I said, yeah, I checked through them all. They're in there. I didn't. I don't know. So I could have got gypped, because unfortunately some people do steal discs from Goodwill because they don't keep them locked up or anything like that. But so far, we have a disc, and we have a little booklet, too. Let's take a look at the booklet. It's just a book. It's just a piece of paper with the chapter selections for the film. Alien, a cinema classic, a sci-fi cinema classic, if I may say so. And that disc don't look too bad either. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of bland, but it's still pretty cool. And take a sip of coffee. Delicious. Okay. So up next, another sci-fi classic. Call it a classic. I think it was panned by the critics, but who cares what the critics say? You're your own critic. Remember that. 2012. a sci-fi film about the year 2012. If you remember the 2012 panic, where everyone thought the world was going to end and the rapture was going to come and we were all going to die and melt or burn or drown. In this movie, it happened to a lot of people. All of the above happened to a lot of people. A nice sci-fi movie. So it's a sci-fi thriller about the end of the world. It's got a good cast: John Cusack, Woody Harrelson, Danny Glover, I believe. He was the president. It has a decent cast. There's a lot of good actors in this. And excellent special effects. You see tidal waves, volcanoes, earthquakes, buildings falling down, and all kinds of really horrible stuff that you don't want to see happen to the earth. It happened in this film. I think there's a huge scene where Yellowstone finally erupts. And it is beautiful. I love the effects. And it's CGI. And, I'm not a CGI hater. I think CGI looks great sometimes. If you play video games, it's CGI. And video games, it's an art form. And it looks awesome. So sometimes CGI is done very well. And I watched this last year, actually. I found it on streaming and just put it on while I was waiting for the wife to get home from work. It's a cool movie. Like I said, the CGI is great. It's very, very well done. So my only problem with this movie was the main characters throughout the film maintained a sort of chipperness that just didn't fit. Even at the very end of the movie, I won't spoil it there, but after everything that's happened and all the destruction, everything, the horrible things these people saw over the past couple days as the earth is literally crumbling before their eyes, and they're just like, oh, we're all together as a family and everything's going to be all right, and look, the ocean, and it really didn't add up. So I thought it needed a little bit of, there was dark tones to it. It was sad and it was depressing at times, but not enough. It was just like the very end of the movie came, and okay, I'll spoil it. They're on a ship and they survive the rest of the earthquakes and the volcanoes, and they're just kind of floating in the ocean on this big safe ship, and they're all like, oh, we could go out on deck now and let's jump rope and play patty cake and get on with our lives. I'm like, dude, the earth is gone. There's a few hundred people on these boats. Everyone else is dead. You people are really happy for some reason. I would be very somber. The rest of your family is dead. Your cousins and your relatives, all your friends are gone. They're not on this ship with you. But these people are just like, oh, well, we're just going to move on with life and start over. I don't know if it would be that easy. So there was a sense of realism that kind of wasn't present in the film. But I still kind of liked it. If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd give it a solid 5. And just for those reasons alone, like I said, the CGI and the effects were great, but then again, the sort of mood throughout the whole film with all this horrible stuff happening, it just didn't add up. But it's a sci-fi classic regardless, and I did revisit it last year, and I still sort of enjoyed it. So, and it's like family friendly too. If you got like, I wouldn't say a young kid, but 10, 11 years old, it would be a fun family movie. You just sit and have some popcorn and enjoy it. We'll take a look at the back. Yeah, you can see how this horrible stuff happening, even on the back here. Well, that's just a lot of characters. But a cool movie, and we'll read through some of the features. Deleted scenes, alternate ending. I haven't seen the alternate ending. I don't know what that could possibly be. Ronald Emmerich, the master of the modern epic. I believe Ronald Emmerich, I believe he's one of these guys that makes all these disaster movies. Like, I think he did Geostorm or Moonfall. And what's the snow one? The Day After Tomorrow. I believe he did that too. So I think he's kind of, that's his genre. Is he makes these sort of apocalyptic nature movies. So good on him for finding his niche and sticking with it. Commentary with the writer-director Roland, same guy. Time for Miracles, music video by Adam Lambert. Okay, so there's a music video too, so you get a little bit of value. And there's the sticker again. This one was $3 too. Not a whole lot of money. And there might be some stores where you can get these $1, but Goodwill is right there and it's convenient, so it was a nice time to go in there and look around. You can look at clothes too, all kinds of knickknacks, tableware. A lot of people you sneeze at Goodwill, and I don't want to buy that junk. Sometimes you can find a lot of cool stuff there, so don't ever hesitate to go in there, especially if you're a collector and you like vintage stuff. You can find a lot of that there. That's not groundbreaking information, but okay. Take a look at our disc. We have no inside literature or advertisements, just the disc, 2012. Cool movie. What we got next? Oh, this is a favorite of mine. And I can't believe I found this one there because I will be watching this. I have a copy of it on my hard drive, but I am overjoyed to have a physical copy of it now. Casino. Okay, Martin Scorsese, Goodfellas, The Departed. I think out of all his movies, if I'm picking, it's between Casino and Goodfellas. I gotta go Casino. Casino's probably my favorite Scorsese movie. De Niro, Pesci, Sharon Stone. You know, it's just one of those movies that, again, I watched it at a very young age, and I probably shouldn't have. And it's one you come to appreciate a lot as you get older. When you see the filmmaking and the setting and the time period. What was it, the 70s in Vegas? What they were going for in this, and the automobiles, the clothes, the people out on the strip of Vegas, and the mob vibe to it. It was such a cool movie. So many iconic scenes. I can make this whole episode about Casino, but we can't do that. Iconic lines, too. I want an equal amount of blueberries in each muffin. Do you know how long it's going to... Just, it's hilarious. It's funny, it's sad, it's violent. And I talked last episode about Scarface being one of the very few films that is just perfect. 100% from start to finish. I'd put Casino, my personal opinion, Casino is a perfect film from start to finish. And these movies just get better with age. Because it's a time, it's a time movie anyway. It's a period in time like the 70s. And De Niro, my God, he's an incredible actor. Pesci, you don't get any better than that. And Don Rickles was in it. Who's the gentleman? Oh my goodness, why am I drawing like John Carpenter's Vampires? What is his name? It'll come to me in a little bit. My Alexa's going off downstairs, but maybe Alexa knows. Oh God, I can't remember his name. But he's in it and he's good. And there's actors in this who have small parts too. That Kevin Pollak, my goodness, I can go on, but so cool. And here's a fun fact too. You see this gentleman right behind me, this version of Michael Myers. He was played by a guy named Dick Warlock. Dick Warlock is in Casino. He has like a 10-second scene in Casino where he electrocutes the guy with a cattle prod. Thank you, Dick. You made Casino even better. So, okay. We'll go to the special features. Because I could go on and on about how much I love this movie. There she is, Sharon Stone. Oh my God, he's there too. What is his name? I keep forgetting. He was in Videodrome. Okay, let me see. We can find it on the back here. James Woods. There it is. It was on the tip of my tongue. He's a great actor too. He's kind of panned these days because of political views, but who isn't? So, James Woods. He's great. And you can dig deeper and deeper. It's like Goodfellas. There's so many actors even in Goodfellas. Like Samuel Jackson in Goodfellas, he just has these awesome actors who just have these small little iconic roles in his films, and I always appreciate that. So let's take a look at the special features. Okay, so there's documentary, Casino, the story. Go behind the scenes for a fascinating exploration of the script, the book, and how director Martin Scorsese collaborated with writer Nicholas Pileggi. Yeah, Nicholas Pileggi. I believe that's who. Is that who De Niro's characters based off of Rothstein. I think Ace Rothstein might be an actual guy, sort of like how Henry Hill was in Goodfellas. These are like loosely based on true stories, which I always love too. Moments with Martin Scorsese, Sharon Stone, Nicholas Pileggi, and more. So cool. So just not too many special features, which is a shame because they do call this a special edition, but it is an older DVD. And once again, I don't know if you can see that, but I only paid like $3 for this. For one of my favorite movies, Casino, I only paid $3. Once again, every movie is my favorite movie. We'll take a look at the disc. Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci's just great. And there's our disc with your 3 main characters on it. Not too crazy. Cool nonetheless. My child will one day watch the movie Casino. That is a fact. I will wait till they turn 4 or 5, though. Time for more coffee. Do you think I need any more of this coffee? I do. Okay, this was a crazy one to find. And I'm not, I haven't watched this in a long time. I catch it on TV every once in a while. I found this really beat up, and that's what I was talking about. Is you can find these DVDs at Goodwill. Where has this been? Has it just been sitting in someone's basement for all these years? Did it get traded between families, friends? Was it in a person's house and they sadly passed on and their relatives donated it? Look at all the scuffs on this thing. 2-disc limited collector's edition of E.T., the extraterrestrial. And guess what? This was $3. Obviously, it's in bad shape, but like I said before, sometimes the stuff that's in bad shape, there's such a hidden history to it. Where's this been? What happened to it? Did somebody spill a soda on it or something? Did someone's cat take a wee-wee on it? I don't think I think you'd be able to smell if someone's cat pissed on this. But okay, the 2-disc limited edition of E.T. And I haven't looked inside this yet. Okay, well, do I have to go into synopsis about E.T. and what's going on? E.T., the extraterrestrial kid, makes friends with an alien, and the alien almost dies because the government... Who would have thought the government gets involved and makes everybody unhappy? Big surprise. But, Steven Spielberg. So it's probably his this and Jaws and Close Encounters. What are those? His three best. You'd probably call this his Ninth Symphony, E.T., I guess, because it was one of those ones that everybody. A lot of people are afraid of Jaws. A lot of people are legitimately afraid of going in the ocean because they're afraid of sharks, and that's total sort of understandable fear. But E.T. was a family. It was a little scary in some parts, but it was a family-friendly movie about a really sweet alien and a really sweet kid who just hit it off and became buddies and went to White Castle, or I'm thinking of the wrong movie. But E.T. is great. The effects hold up, especially since E.T. was sort of a puppet back then. I think they've CGI'd him now, kind of like they did with the Star Wars movies, but I would prefer to watch the classic version. And like I said, creepy. There's some scenes where E.T. is dying, and he's yelling in pain. That stuff's kind of creepy, but it had a happy ending, a sad happy ending. But he went home back to his planet, Uranus, or wherever he was from. I don't think they ever revealed where he was from. His buddies who left him there came back for him, though, because I guess he called with that little Tyke's toy. E.T. 2-disc limited collector's edition. There is the back, and if I ever meet anybody in life whose name is Elliot, the first thing I say to them, if they say, "Hi, my name's Elliot," I go, "Elliot," just because I'm a smart mouth. But Elliot. But there he is. So we can take a look at some of the features. This has a lot of features on it, and I got this thing for $3. Introduction by Steven Spielberg. Live performance of John Williams conducting the orchestra at the 2002 premiere of E.T. Holy cow. John Williams, he's getting up there. I think he just celebrated, like, I don't know, his 109th birthday or something like that. No, just kidding. I think he might be 90-ish, which, congrats to anybody who makes it that far. Keep it going. We want more music composed from you. The reunion. The cast and filmmakers reunite to discuss their thoughts on the impact of the film. Wow. And the sticker is unfortunately blocking the rest of the features. But take my word for it. There are some cool special features. And I'm sure if you bought an updated... Oh, pardon me, that coffee. If you bought an updated version of E.T. that came out recently, I'm sure there's tons more features. But cool. For $3, I can learn so much about this film. Because I know nothing about filmmaking. You can listen to whatever I say on the show. I'm not a filmmaker. I don't know the first things about cameras or writing or filmmaking. I love talking about it, what I know, and based on my life and my experiences, how I can relate. So, okay. We'll pop it open. Now look, this disc is a moon. I don't know why they did that. I don't think E.T. is from the moon. The Moonanites are from the moon. E.T. is not from the moon, but I guess it's space. So E.T. is from space, and E.T. phone home. And there he is. Okay. E.T. and that's not Elliot. That's Spielberg. That's Steven Spielberg next to E.T. So that's Elliot on the other side. Elliot. Wow. Well, let's check out what's in these booklets real fast, and you can look at. I'll just close it, and we'll go through the book. Oh yeah. God, what's her name? Drew Barrymore. Yeah, this is Drew Barrymore, where she got her start. I think this or Firestarter were her first movies. Cat's Eye, which was a Stephen King horror film. Oh goodness, look at all this stuff. I just dropped something on the floor. A big booklet of information about the movie E.T. For your reading pleasure. Oh, what is this? There's a lot of pictures of Elliot. Okay. Another little booklet. Look inside for great savings. So I'm going to read this. $3 back. Send this coupon and original sales receipt showing purchase of E.T. Return to the Green Planet. There's an E.T. PlayStation 2 game. So you could send this in and get a rebate. I have no idea there was an E.T. PlayStation 2 game. You can see it right there. Does anybody else know about that? I knew there was a Nintendo game that was so horrible that they buried it somewhere. They've thousands of copies of the E.T. game from Nintendo buried under a pile of garbage somewhere in the dirt just because they couldn't sell them. It's funny. Someday, somebody will find those. An archaeologist in the year 2525, he'll find copies of E.T. for Nintendo and wonder, what are these doing here? A lot of pictures of Elliot. Okay. Cool movie. And to finish off, I'd say my favorite part of the film is probably the score. The John Williams soundtrack. Which any John Williams movie is just... The score's so powerful. It just takes your breath away. God, I do not need any more of that coffee, but I'm going to take another sip before we start the next two. The next one's going to be a double. Okay. This one's going to count as a double, like I said. Alright, so we talked about Alien at the beginning of the show. How about Alien versus Predator? Sorry about the sticker there. This is a Walmart sticker. Somebody bought this at Walmart a long time ago and just never took the sticker off. Alien vs. Predator, another one that's self-explanatory. The plot, I remember correctly, I haven't seen this in years, but they go to some sort of pyramid in the Antarctic or Arctic. I'm pretty sure it's the Antarctic. And I'm pretty sure it's still on Earth, too. And it takes place sort of in present day. And a lot of the Alien movies take place in the future, but you have aliens, you have predators, they don't get along, there's a big fight at the end, a lot of humans lose their lives. I've given you the plot of Alien versus Predator. Now, what's cool about these Alien Predator films, like I said before, is the special effects. You know how long it probably takes to put someone in a Predator costume? Or how long it takes to sort of get a alien puppet? Because I believe it's a lot of puppetry still. When you watch a lot of the Alien movies, Aliens and stuff, it was guys in costumes. Not a lot of CGI. I think a lot of the newer ones are more CGI. And then the thing coming out of the alien's mouth, that's puppetry. Or animatronics, however you want to put it. That's practical effects. And I believe there was still... I have to give this a rewatch. It's been so long. But they're not super good. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of them. Like I said, on my own, I'm more of a Predator fan. So I'm glad they didn't keep making Alien versus Predator movies. I'm glad they both branched off again into their separate directions. I am not happy that they did that with Freddy versus Jason. 100% not. We need more Freddy versus Jason movies. I think I said that the last episode. Not sure what the holdup is with that, but let's make it happen. More Freddy versus Jason movies, not more Alien versus Predator movies. I could just stick with Predator. Predator Badlands was incredible, and I'm hoping and praying that there is a sequel to that. Which there should be, because they teased it at the end. Alright. Alien versus Predator. The original. So, we will turn it to the back. And I will read you the special features. With an alternate beginning never shown in theaters. I have not seen that. So I could rewatch this. Check that out. Full-length audio commentary by director Paul W.S. Anderson and actress Lance Henriksen. That's right. Lance Henriksen was in this, and he's coming back from Aliens. He was a main character in Aliens. So not his character, but his likeness, because I believe it was a distant relative of his, or well, I guess he couldn't have had a relative because he was a robot in Aliens. But Lance Henriksen's in it, and I appreciate him. He's another great actor who's really getting up there. I think that gentleman might be almost in his 90s, too. Full-length audio commentary by visual effects supervisor John Bruno. I would like to watch that, because I just went on a whole rant about how the effects were super awesome. And then the chest bursters with the aliens. That's always a visual masterpiece when they pull that off. A creature penetrating someone's sternum and coming out of their chest. It doesn't sound easy to put on camera, but these directors and these effects artists do it, and it's disgusting. It's hard to watch. Okay, DVD-ROM content. So I could put this in a computer, and I guess there's some features there. We'd have to check that out. AVP comic book. AVP background study. Well, there's a lot of features on here. And if you don't know, AVP was a video game franchise first. The Alien vs. Predator concept came out in video games first, and then we're still waiting. The gaming community is still waiting on another Alien vs. Predator. There hasn't been one since 2010. It's time. All right. Now, like I said before, all I had for this one was the slipcover. They don't even have a casing for it. Just a blank box. But we're still going to open it. Okay. There's the meat of the matter right there. Alien versus Predator. And this one we do have a little book. Is this the comic they were talking about? Let's take a peek. NASCAR returns 2/20/2005. Be there or be square. So let's set this down for 1 second. So there's your chapter selections for Alien vs. Predator. And an advertisement for Dodgeball, I believe. Grab life by the ball and save $10. Guess you can get... Don't you miss this stuff where you can save some money on physical media? Oh, this... Okay, so... This is glued shut. Or... It's just been... wherever it's been kept for a long time. I can't open this thing without ripping it. I don't know what's in there. I think, from what I can see, without ripping any further, it's just advertisements for other DVDs and maybe a mailing thing where you could send in and get a rebate. I think they're talking about Star Wars there. So let's look at all this unique stuff you can find. The NASCAR 2005. This slip's been in here for over 20 years old. The 47th annual Daytona 500. 47 back in 2005. I wonder what they're at now. I don't care about NASCAR enough to even look into that, but somebody cares. That's Alien vs. Predator. And surprise, surprise, I said this was going to be a double. Wham. AVP Requiem, which was not good. Not good at all. I enjoyed the ending. I think it was very rushed. It seemed like they didn't get the best actors for it. This is another one I haven't seen in probably 15 plus years. But I saw it there at Goodwill today, and I said, you know what? I need it in my collection because I'm a huge Predator fan. So, we have it, and this might be a good one to rewatch, actually. I like the ending. I thought the ending was really cool. They did sort of tie everything together. It was sort of a survival horror-ish. And I'm about to spoil the original Alien vs. Predator, but Predator sort of had a face turn. If you're not a wrestling fan, turning face means you're not an a-hole anymore, and there's a little more good in you, and you're sort of an anti-hero. So at the end of the original Alien vs. Predator, Predator sort of turned into an anti-hero. This one, he doesn't, though. He's a straight killer all the way to the end, and so is the alien. And I believe, I'm a little shaky on the plot because it has been so long, but I believe there's like a sort of a crossbred alien that is a huge threat, and that's why the Predator is searching for it this time, and a lot of humans get caught in the crossfire, and spines get ripped out, and chest cavities explode. It's a bloody good mess. Once again, haven't seen this in a long time, so it's definitely on my list. My very, very deep list of movies that I want to rewatch. Take a sip of Joe. AVP Requiem. Let's check out the special features. Full-length audio commentary by directors Colin and Greg Strauss and producer John Davis. That's about it. And probably sadly they couldn't get a lot of extras on these DVDs because the movie didn't do well. It probably underperformed at the box office, and they said just throw it out on DVD with a commentary track and chalk it up as a loss. I'll have to look into how much money this lost for 20th Century Fox, because these were both put out by Fox, big time studio. And look, like I said, not even any art on the DVD. Just like you said, your old school. Flip it over, and it is widescreen. One side's full screen. Pretty bland. Like I said, the studio probably, it was a loss, so they probably said, oh, we don't have much money to put into the DVD, so I rented that from the video store back at the day when you could do that. Sorry, the burps keep coming, and the burps keep coming. All right. Another good one. Despite this poor man's downfall recently, he's still rich, so who knows what a downfall it is. But he hasn't had an easy time lately. But I've always been a fan of Will Smith, and especially this movie. I don't know. I didn't watch much more of what he did after this one. I remember The Pursuit of Happiness, but I love Will Smith. Men in Black, Wild Wild West, I, Robot. My mom took us to see I, Robot in theaters, and she bought us the DVDs. Will Smith was awesome. Cool actor, badass, in shape, funny, smart mouth. But he kind of seems like he might have gone off the deep end lately, and I pray that everything just works out for him, and he can stay working and stay happy and healthy. And I think a lot of his he's having a lot of marital problems, which I pray for anyone going through that, and I just hope it gets better for him. And I hope he turns out a good movie, not After Earth or whatever the one is he did with his son back 10 years ago. But I Am Legend. I always loved I Am Legend. I saw it in theaters with my dear friend Jonathan. We were in 9th grade. So I couldn't have been too old, maybe 15 or 16 years old. I love this movie, and I read the book prior to seeing it in the theater. The book was called The Last Man on Earth by Richard Matheson, a good sci-fi writer. And the book's a little bit different from the film. And there was also a movie that came out, I believe, either late 50s or early 60s. It was called The Last Man on Earth, too. And it was starred Vincent Price. And it was the same sort of concept, just a little different. And obviously they made an updated version. I Am Legend. It had a lot of CGI, and it was a little more gory than the Vincent Price movie. But this was cool, because I love the vampires. I guess that's what they were. They weren't really zombies. They were sort of vampires created by a cure for cancer, and just destroyed the whole world, as far as you know, because it only sort of takes place in New York. But great from start to finish. I love the score. I love the setting. I love seeing New York when nobody's there. That's breathtaking of how peaceful it is. But then you see all the advertisements in Times Square and everything. And it was cool to see it. And Will Smith is the only sort of guy in New York City, and he's trying to enjoy it, like golfing and hanging out with his dog. But you can tell it's taking a toll on him, and he's working on a cure day after day. But in the end, I won't spoil anything. But he sort of finds what he's looking for, and so finds a cure. It's a good movie. So if you've never seen I Am Legend, definitely check it out. They've always talked about a sequel to this. I think Michael B. Jordan was on board to do a sequel. And if now's the time if you're going to do it with Michael B. Jordan, because he's on fire. I haven't seen Sinners yet, but I can't wait. I want to get the Blu-ray and get a case of beer one night and watch that, because it's probably pretty long. But I Am Legend from 2007. So this is the widescreen edition. I had this DVD a long time ago. The 2-disc special edition, and I never know. I can't remember what happened to it. I might have traded it in to a DVD store or something for 50 cents or some lowball offer, but I have it again. It's in my collection. Turn it over. Mind-blowing excitement. It is a very exciting movie. There are some slow parts, but I loved it. I think if I had to pick my favorite part about it, it's probably the score, because it's a horror movie, but there's a really sort of sad score to it, like hopeless, sort of lonely feeling, lonely music, which is a spoiler right on the back here. He does find other humans later on in the movie. So if you did buy the DVD without seeing it, sorry. Special features, though. 4 awesome animated comics. Death is a Gift, Isolation, Sacrificing the Few for the Many, and Shelter. So there's a good... This is another one with a DVD-ROM feature. I'm not sure what that entails. I have to put it in a DVD drive for a computer. And I think I have one on my laptop, so maybe I can pop that in and see what comes up. Maybe it takes you to a website, and who knows if that website is still even running. We'll take a look at the disc. I Am Legend, starring Mr. William Smith. He likes pretty girls. Cool film. And another one I'll have to watch again. I really hope they make a sequel, because then that's a good excuse to give it a rewatch. That poor guy. He's such an awesome actor. It's just a lot of goofy stuff going on with him, and I pray for him. I pray that he can get it figured out. And okay. Getting close to the end here. We've got 2 more. Okay, Disney Pixar Wall-E. If I had to pick a favorite Disney... I'm not a huge Disney movie guy, but if I had to pick a favorite, not just Disney or Disney Pixar, of all of them, it's probably Wall-E. Wall-E's a cute little movie. The robot, it's kind of like... It's kind of like I Am Legend in a way. The little robot's living in a deserted Earth all by himself, and he eventually finds a friend. This little Eva, I think her name is, his little girlfriend robot, and the little vacuum cleaner. It's a cute movie. He goes into outer space and he meets the humans, and the humans are big, sort of pig, unhappy people that are real lazy. They sit in chairs. They don't do anything for themselves, and they can't walk anymore because they're so out of shape and atrophied. And it's humorous, but it's a really good message that we're sort of dehumanizing ourselves and kind of just sitting around staring at screens and pressing buttons, kind of like I'm doing now. But the message is take care of the earth. There's a good pollution message in it too. Take care of yourself and also take care of the earth. And even these little robots. It takes 2 little robots to convey that message to the humans. But it is cute. And here comes Melvin. Shh. You gotta go, buddy. We're doing a show. I'll feed you in a little bit. Come on, go play. But WALL-E, it's a cute little movie, and I remember seeing this with my brothers, my mom and dad, probably when we were in high school. I think it came out in 2009, maybe 2010, so we were all still kids. And this is one movie. I remember all these movies I saw in the theaters where we all together with this family. There was 7 of us, and we all saw it and we all enjoyed it. So, sentimental, and I think I've said I have a kid coming soon, and I'd love to be able to show them the movie WALL-E. So that's why I bought it today, because I wanted to get one kid's movie in here. I think WALL-E's great. It's cute. It's funny. It's got a little thrilling, some thriller parts that might be a little exciting for kids. But I've always liked it. And I saw this, and again, this is like a special edition. And it was $3. It's again $3.15. Enthralling entertainment, as it says up here. And I agree. Cute little movie. I don't think it's very long. Maybe just a little under 2-hour runtime. And I'll be definitely showing this to my little tyke when they're old enough to start watching some movies. So, right after we show them Casino, they can watch WALL-E. Bonus features: Burn E, hilarious all-new animated short. So there's an extra little movie in here. Presto, amazing animated theatrical short film. And this is another one too. Like I said earlier, this is all CGI. So don't always be anti-CGI. Sometimes it's beautiful. There's people who are so good with running computers and computer programs and computer-aided drafting and such that they can create things like these, and they're crisp and so smooth and colorful. They're just lovely. So don't always consider CGI to be the enemy. Sometimes it's an art form of its own, just like practical effects are too. So, deleted scenes, sneak peek, WALL-E's tour of the universe. WALL-E takes you on a real ride through space. Now, like I said, if I do, I can't wait to show this to my child when they're old enough to start watching movies. Animation, sound design, audio commentary. There's so many features on this $3 DVD that I bought. WALL-E and Eva. I even suggested to my wife we should do a WALL-E themed nursery, because then that would fit with the Cosmic Alliance of the Fist nursery. Here's our disc. It's the chapter selections. There's not really much going on in here, but it is cool. And I think the box is made out of recycled cardboard. How cute. That goes with the message of the movie. And this comes with the Disney rewards too. I don't know if you can still use those or what you'd buy with them. All right, we're getting to the end, kiddos. Now, I said I was going to save the best for last because this is totally awesome. And I don't own either of these movies. So to find this for $5, incredible. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Simply incredible. It was $5.30 for dual Blu-ray, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Oh, Ghostbusters, incredible. The newer ones, I have not seen Ghostbusters, what's it called, the Frozen Empire. I haven't seen that, but I did see the the reboot from a few years back. I believe it was 21 or 22 when that came out. Cried like a baby. My goodness. The ending had me in tears. We went to see it for Thanksgiving as a family. I was asking my mom and my wife for tissues, and they're looking at me like, "What? What?" You know what? You know what I'm talking about. If you saw the first newer one, but Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Ernie Hudson, they're incredible. It was hilarious, and it was a spoof movie. Now, I don't know every single thing about Ghostbusters like some people do. It's a fun movie to me. My brother and I had the VHS when we were little kids, and we just got to that age where we could start watching horror and stuff, and I think my mom let us watch it because it's a comedy. It's a horror comedy. That's what it is, and it wasn't too scary. And Rick Moranis, he's probably my favorite part of these movies. Who does your taxes? He was great. So, and we love both of them, Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Ghostbusters 2, The River of Slime. It was so cool. And the special effects in Ghostbusters are... They don't hold up as well, but it was the early 80s, so what do you expect? But like I said, something I didn't appreciate until I got older was the dialogue in these films. Like, that's one big Twinkie. It's just tongue-in-cheek humor that you might not understand when you're a little kid. When you get older, you're like, the flowers are still standing. It's hilarious. And I was dumbfounded that I found this at Goodwill today for $5. And this besides having the plastic on it, looks brand new. It's in absolutely perfect condition. So I lucked out. Let's read the features. All new special features. Who you gonna call? A Ghostbusters retrospective, roundtable discussion with director Ivan Reitman and Dan Aykroyd, Ghostbusters music video, poster art gallery, plus original special features. Disc 2, Time is But a Window, Ghostbusters 2 and Beyond, roundtable discussion. So the same special features just for Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters 2 is sick also. I love it. Vigo. What a great bad guy. And good soundtracks for both of them. The music in these was incredible. Not even just the main theme, but some of the music they had playing throughout the piano music and stuff. It just fit well. And the Ecto one, the car, which was a hearse. Oh God, so cool. This is remastered in 4K also. So awesome. And I'm thrilled that I found these on Blu-ray. I'd have to check how much. I don't know where my phone is, but I'll have to see how much this goes for on like Amazon, because I gotta say it's pretty expensive. Let's give it a goog real quick. Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Blu-ray. The cheapest you can get it is $11. So, I got it for $5. Just without some plastic around the edge. That's so awesome. I'm so grateful I found this. And it goes back to what I said. I kind of had a crappy end to my workday today, but I found a way to make it better. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have this amazing Blu-ray collection right here in front of me right now. So real quick, let's take a look inside. Let's see. Oh, look at these beautiful discs they got here. So cool. Maybe I should move it into frame so you can see it. Ghostbusters 1 and 2. Artwork on the discs. Oh, we got a whole booklet of fun stuff. Mr. Stay Puft. Rick Moranis. Oh, you could take a couple minutes and read all this. There's so much. Like I said, I don't know much about the history of Ghostbusters, all the backstory. Clearly, there's so much. And I guess if you looked at it back in the 80s, I could go on and on with these pages. There's so much stuff here. it was just a sort of maybe a Saturday Night Live spinoff, like a comedy movie. Think about how many comedy movies come out today that's all they are, is a comedy movie, a rom-com or whatever, and you go see it. With a film like Ghostbusters, it's just iconic. And who would have thought back then the legacy that it would create? So, guys, thanks for joining me for another episode. I think it's time to wrap it up. We're going to get some dinner started. I'm going to finish this coffee. Jesus, I'm going to be up late and I have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning. But it was all worth it because I wanted to get out a show tonight. I hope everybody's having a lovely February. And warm weather's coming, I promise. Everybody's sick of winter. But I will try and be back next week with another episode. I'm going snowboarding and snow tubing with some family this weekend up at the ski resort. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. Feel a lot better after the crappy end of the day. So that's today's message. Just if you're having a bad day, remember there's a way you can make it better. You just have to look deep into what you like and what you're passionate about. And I heard a quote today on the radio from Matthew Lillard. He was talking about Scream 7. He was talking to the DJ and he said, if you're truly doing what you love, it's amazing how the universe will revolve around you. And that really hit home, especially after a bad day. So thank you all for sticking with me and watching tonight. And I can't wait till next time. Take care. Bye.